Hello and welcome to Let's Talk About It. I'm your hostess, Paulette Henson. And today, my guest on the show is author Dr. Lorena Newson. So, just to give you a little bit of background about Let's Talk About It, I conduct a series of interviews with entrepreneurs, authors, and business owners who want to promote their business as well as their books, and also to inspire you to do the work that God has set out for you in your life. Faith without works is dead, and that is this show's motto. So the plan is to show the works of the phenomenal people that I have interviewed. And so without further ado, I'd like to bring on the stage my guest today, Dr. Lorena Newson. Hello, Lorena. Welcome to the show. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate being here today.
Yes, so we are going to talk about your first book project. And I am so proud of you that you have jumped over this hurdle and you've written your first book. And so tell our audience the name of your book and your inspiration, your writing journey.
Okay. So, the name of my book is The 21-Day Guide to Discovering Your Passion, Developing Your Plan, and Defining Your Purpose. What it is that you want to do with your life. And so, I think what inspired me is that I have been a career person my entire life. And when I got to a certain point, because I'm a really big planner and goal setter, right? And at a certain point, it was okay, I checked this box off, I checked this box, I checked this box. And so, I went and I said, well, God, there has to be more to me just checking these boxes off. And so with this book, it was actually my effort and my self inquiry. So, for example, there are a couple of topics in the book that got me through my time of, um, going into entrepreneurship and what does it look like for me, and how do I, pursue my career woman, journey as well as my entrepreneurship endeavors as well. So, a couple of the words of the day, I have commitment, accountability, gratitude, talent, intentionality. And actually, intentionality is day one. It is so important for us to be intentional in everything that we do. And
Yes.
for this book in particular, it every day starts with a quote followed by text and a journaling activity. And so this was kind of getting me closer to the things that I feel like led me to my why every day that I woke up in the morning. And so
Yes.
sometimes, the career is great, but it's about balance and harmony. So you got to make sure that you're doing other things to bring that balance and perspective into your life, especially if you're doing family and marriage and career. You got to make time for self-care and time for self-reflection. And that's essentially what inspired this book, or for me to write it and to publish it.
If you're thinking about selling your house, you have a couple key advantages in today's market. First of all, there are more homes for sale now than there were at this time last year. That means you have more options to choose from if you move, so you're more likely to find what you're looking for. Also, inventory is still low, so if you price your house right, it will be in high demand. There just aren't enough homes on the market today for the number of buyers who want to purchase them. So your home could sell pretty quickly. So, with more homes to choose from, but still an overall shortage of listings, you may be in a true sweet spot this season. If you're ready to make a move, I can give you the expert guidance you need. Let's connect so you don't miss out on what today's market has to offer. It's the house cat around town. Give me a call at 951 538 4126. And I look forward to speaking with you soon. Meow for now.
Yes.
One of my friends, she read the book, and a couple of the activities that I created in the book, she said, "Oh, I saw those activities, but that's just not how my brain works." But she said, "I'm going to try a couple of those things, uh, but I'm not really a planner. I don't, really do details." But after we finished talking, I
Right.
realized that she is a planner. She just does it in her head. So I created a
Right.
tools and
Right.
ways for you to do it on paper. But some
Mm-hmm.
people, they're planning all day. You're in bed,
Yes.
you're on your phone, you're scrolling, you're planning
Right.
about, like you said, what do I want to accomplish tomorrow? What do the kids need? What does my husband need? Where do I need to go? So
Right.
you actually are, planning, or you're not just kind
Right.
of waking up like, oh, well, what's happening today? So it's just kind of bringing that structure. But I thought it was hilarious when she said, "That's just not how my brain works," because she's actually a planner and a go-getter, and she's always busy and working and moving. So, I had to get her to see that you actually are a planner. And I think that she does sometimes have help because she does a lot of events and people do the details for her. But she
Yes.
does kind of have the vision, and she has an idea for how things are going to go. So I would venture to say that, she is a planner. It's just not maybe as structured as some of the things in this book. And I also wanted to say, just because I'm a little bit of a type A, for me, I have to have it written somewhere, even if I deviate from it a little bit, just so that I know it exists, so I can come back to it. Because if I don't write it down, tomorrow I'm on a whole nother plan, and it's like, wait, where's the fire? Where's the follow through? Where's
Right.
the accountability? And so for me, it was really a way for me to create accountability and structure for myself to do the things that I say that I'm going to do, and give
Yes.
some type of I don't want to say limitations, but you gotta put some, what is the SMART goals: specific, measurable, action oriented, realistic, and time based. You gotta be
Yes.
smart about what it is that you are pursuing. And so that's really what this was for me.
Yes. Yes. Absolutely. I remember going to a little training for work one time, and it was really on getting organized and planning, developing your schedule, and including yourself in the schedule. How many times do we book appointments and book all phone calls and all types of things, tasks that we do in a day, but we don't include ourselves in that. We don't include an hour of me time, or an hour to go take a walk, or an hour to read. It's like that quiet time. And it's important that you include that in your day. That, I'm blocking out an hour or 45 minutes so that I can just not do anything. And so I love the concept of your book. And so, with that, we're going to take a quick moment, and we'll be right back with Dr. Lorena to discuss more on her book, Passion, Planning, and Purpose. Stay tuned. New authors that, or potential authors that are thinking about, oh, I want to write a book. What is that process? So give us a little bit of insight on that experience for you.
So last weekend, and the date is leaving me right now. The last weekend, I think it was March 6th, I did my very first book signing at Barnes and Noble at the Tyler Galleria in Riverside. And it was such a wonderful experience. And so the photo behind me in my background is actually me at the book signing. And I want to just kind of share this because it was my first one. I had my table and my sign up, and I was just thinking, is anybody going to come up to me? Do I have to walk around and talk to people? Like, am I approachable? And so all of these things were going through my head, right? And so it was scary. And I want to say the biggest thing with putting this book out was facing my fears. And I am so proud of myself for
Yes.
facing my fear of is not perfect or rejection or what are people going to think. But um, I saw a quote or a meme and it said, unless you're bold, then your people won't be able to find you. So as long as you're hiding and you are, being low key, the people that need your gift, they won't ever find it. And then you
Wow.
will, you won't really feel like you're fulfilling your purpose because you're not pouring into anyone else's cup. You're just kind of hoarding everything that God has given you for yourself, right?
Yes.
So I had my
Yes.
first book signing, and as soon as I put my table up, people were coming up to me and asking me questions about my book. And this was a really good experience for me because someone just walked up to me and said, well, why should I buy your book? And so I said, oh, okay, well, let me think on the. I mean, I know why, but to try to articulate that in 30 seconds or 15 seconds or less, because, if
Yes.
it's too long winded, you don't say the right things at the right time.
Yes.
It's like you lost me. So
Right.
it kind of required me to learn to think on the fly and
Impromptu.
to and to speak to people in their situations and what they were going through. And it was such a good experience because I did have some people share personal things and I was able to share personal things. And so I wanted to share that in something else because there are some people that are of the perspective that planning is about a control, and it's not necessarily about you trying to control your life. But even the Bible says without, write the vision, make it plain, put it on the tablets, while vision people perish, right? And so
Yes.
you need to know what you're working towards. And if you go to any bank or any loan investor and you
Yes.
want money, they're going to ask you for a business plan. They're going to want to see
Yes.
structure. What do you plan to do with these funding?
Yes.
Or is it going to make money? And so it's just getting people into that mindset that we do essentially have to get things out of our head and onto paper if we want
Yes.
to have a measurable amount of success in anything that we do. Well, when it
Yes.
comes to our professional aspirations. And so I have another book signing coming up. I'll be at the Victor Valley Mall, and I have a date at the Barnes and Noble in Rancho Cucamonga as well in June.
Yay.
And so,
Yay.
thank you. So, if you go to my website, shepersisted.info, it'll have all of my author signings. For the book, where I'll be book signing, you can actually purchase books on the spot, or you can bring in your pre-purchased book and I'll gladly sign it for you. Amazon has really been working wonders for me, especially with that Prime getting books out in 2 days. So, um,
Yes.
you know, I wanted to share something else. One of my friends, that's a realtor, she called me and she said, we just started a book club, at our real estate office. And your book is not a real estate book, but everybody agreed to read your book. And we'd like to invite you in for a mixer just to talk about, your book. And then you'll hear from, our office about things that resonated with them. And so I am so here for the local and grassroots opportunities and just to hear
Yes.
how things that I've gone through is inspiring other people to just
Yes.
persist and persevere. So it's been a wonderful experience for me so far, and it's just started with pushing past my fears or myself or whatever self-imposed limitations that I personally had to get this out there and get this information to people in a way that would be beneficial for their life.
Yes. Wow. So empowering. I am so proud of you. I am so proud that you did this and not even realizing that it was something that it was a little bit fearful because you don't show any fear at all, and so to hear that I'm like, oh my goodness. And people that are like when you go to Barnes and Noble and people come up to you and they want, oh, well, why should I buy your book? That really caught me right there. And it's literally like, you have an impromptu moment where just trying to appeal to people, the public, is not easy. And when someone approaches you and they say, "Oh, why should I buy your book?" In my opinion, they're already going to buy your book, but they just want that extra something from you
Okay.
to make them go ahead and do it. Now, they may not buy it in front of you, but I guarantee possibly the next day when you weren't there, your book was purchased. And I love that. I think that a lot of people experience fears when they write books, especially those that write personal stories, memoirs, things of that nature, because it exposes your fears, pretty much everything that you're going through. But as I tell other people that I've spoken with and interviewed, it's a cleansing. It's like you're walking through an unknown path, but when you get to that end of it, you're so happy that you did. And most of that, it comes from giving us visions, and He gives us the roadmap to carry out those visions. And so, if we don't step into that uncomfortable zone of the unknown, we'll never know what He has in store for us. A lot of it, yeah, you're going to get blessings here and there, but as my motto for the show, faith without works is dead. You have to do the work. And so I love that you have put together this phenomenal book. And I encourage you, ladies and gentlemen, get this book. I have read it. It's a great guide to get you on track with getting your life together, organizing, planning, whatever it is. Even if you're planning to take a 30-day trip or something like that, you have to plan, right? You got to plan for clothes. You got to plan for the weather. You got to plan for if you need vaccinations, if you're going out of the country. I mean, planning incorporates every aspect of your life. That is really the point that I'm making. And any type of guide that you can set that will help you with that planning is only going to benefit you and everyone that reads it. And so, Dr. Lorena, any closing words that you would have for the audience when they see your book? Like the lady said, why should I buy your book?
So, well. Okay. So, I want to start with intention and I want to start with why. So, on the very first page of this book, it asks you to identify your reason why. So, what is your reason why? What is the reason that you wake up? What is the reason that you want to pursue certain whatever it is that you want to pursue every day that you wake up? What's your why? So it's important for us to know what motivates us. It's important for us to know what inspires us. It's important for us to know what drives us. Because getting stuck, I think, is a natural part of the flow and the process. But when we
Yes,
get stuck, it's important for us to regroup and to come back to our reason why and be very intentional about how we plan to move forward. Right. And so
right,
sometimes you are stuck and you're looking for people to kind of get you back on track. But the first person that is really accountable and responsible for getting us back on track as ourselves. And so even if
Yes.
you're on an airplane, if it's going to go down, they tell you if the mask drops, put your mask on first before you help anyone else. That self investment is going to be critical to your ability to pour into others, but also to make sure that you're sustaining yourself. And so it's to really get away from, we've been taught to take care of everyone else and put everyone else first, but you find yourself exhausted, you find yourself fatigued, you find yourself just sometimes in states of complacency, or, oh, I notice I don't have joy. Well, you're not taking care of yourself. And guess what? You're showing up and you're expecting somebody else to do the work to take care of you that you're not even doing for yourself.
Right.
So you
Right.
putting the burden of self-care on somebody else, and you're not even doing the work on your own
Right.
self. So it's like a paradigm shift. And I mean, we're all
Yes.
guilty of it. I know I'm guilty of it, but it's like,
Yes.
hold on, I'm asking this, I'm married, so I'm asking this man to do what? I didn't even do it for myself. So, it's like you got to check yourself sometimes.
Yes.
Just with this book, knowing your reason why, setting your intentions, knowing your intentions is going to put you so much further along than people who don't even have that information. And then some people say, well, I don't know where to start. Well, I have a place for you to start, and that's with this book. So go
Yes.
and purchase this book, The 21 Day Guide to Discovering Your Passion, Developing Your Plan, and Defining Your Purpose. If you don't know where to start, if the world is just too big, if there's too many options, too many opportunities, then you can start with this book, and it will put you on the path so that you can pursue your purpose and your plan and your passion. Thank you so much for having me, Paulette.
Wow. Thank you so much, Dr. Lorena. I so enjoyed talking with you and talking about your new book. I wish you all the success. I know that.
If you're thinking about selling your house, you have a couple key advantages in today's market. First of all, there are more homes for sale now than there were at this time last year. That means you have more options to choose from if you move, so you're more likely to find what you're looking for. Also, inventory is still low, so if you price your house right, it will be in high demand. There just aren't enough homes on the market today for the number of buyers who want to purchase them. So your home could sell pretty quickly. So with more homes to choose from, but still an overall shortage of listings, you may be in a true sweet spot this season. If you're ready to make a move, I can give you the expert guidance you need. Let's connect so you don't miss out on what today's market has to offer. It's the House Cat Around Town. Give me a call at 951-538-4126. And I look forward to speaking with you soon. Meow for now.